So here we are again, and the venue has been chosen particularly for lockdown. It's called Same Again Groundhog Day in the Pilates studio. The only difference will be that I'm a day older, as are you, and a little bit more demonstrated, as are you. So we're all in the same boat in that regard. I'm holding these weights so that you remember it's handheld weights. In terms of using weighted positions, you can use bottles of water, cans of beans, cans of tomatoes, cans of anything that you have in your fridge as handheld connections, and you can equally not use anything. I've opened in time for everyone to kind of get themselves into the room, organise. Yes, it's weighted time, and yes, we're at a new venue called the Pilates Studio. It's new just because it's a new day. Hopefully people are feeling as though, what are we feeling? We're feeling relieved that it's still sunny. We're feeling relieved that we have the opportunity to work out. We're very glad that we don't have any real disabilities that stop us from engaging in activity that doesn't feel like a prison camp of containment. Welcome, Margaret. Grand to see you here again today. The workout I've created is very much biased to upper body strength and stabilisation. With Pilates, you don't want to create muscle bulk. My arms, if they see a press up after about 5 and they grow twice the bulk of muscular strength, I'm trying to make sure that the movements with the handheld weights are actually movements that lengthen and strengthen you rather than bulk you out and damage your joints. Morning, Patricia. Great to see you here again. It's handheld weights morning. Hello, Emma. You've been allowed out twice in a row. Good morning to you. Handheld weights time. I'll keep holding these. Remember that as you hold the weights, you're looking to keep a very kind of strong wrist to forearm position, rather than a grippy, flexy, bendy wrist. So we don't see any of this kind of wrist stuff in anything that I ask for. The handheld weights will always be held from a strong, straight wrist, which activates your bicep and some of your armpit lats and strats. Morning, Donna. So ready with your handheld weights is what this is all about. The weighted arm positioning, in keeping with the series that I'm doing days 1 to 10, effectively, that's going to be the end of the series. It's that you breathe your core to connect with your weights. You don't let your weights try and find your core. So any weight on a distal end, on the hand end, morning Jane, any weighted position should land in your core. We will open this session standing. If you need to kind of adjust all your equipment, it will be standing, then it will be seated, then it will be lying down, it will go back to seated, it will find itself onto hands and knees, then lying on your front. Kneeling up will come at some point, time permitting. So I've got my programme. Whether or not I manage it all is another matter. Good morning, Ken. Tuesday morning, and I think it's week 11, maybe. Yep, perhaps, who knows? I think it's week 11, it might be week 12. Someone will know the answer to that question. To me, it's just one long repeat, and then repeat some more. The handheld weights are here to stay today. The handheld weights are being used with a strong and straight wrist. Find your equipment now. Make sure that your camera allows you to be seen stood up, then seated, and followed by lying down. You'll be flowing back up to seated and positions like that. I will try and teach slowly and methodically. I'll say again for those just finding themselves, appreciate it's not that simple. Hi Margaret, Lidl. You're using handheld weights. The weights are meant to find your core. You're not using the handheld weights to bash your upper body. You're core stabilizing, and the weights connect via your breath to your core. So try and get your head around that as you do today's session. And morning, Diane. Grand to see that you're in the room too. And morning, Susan. Just so you know, hay fever's at an absolute, for me, it's at a chronic level. I'm probably on every med possible, then having to take stomach meds. I'm still coughing, so if I end up, the minute I roll down, roll up, I tend to get a bit chesty. Forgive me, it feels terrible to cough when I'm videoing, but that's life. If anyone else suffering from hay fever and asthma, talk to me. It's chronic at the moment. Carol, hello there, alias. You know something, I don't know how many of you appreciate how many of our client base have alias names for Facebook. We could write a bit of a story about it. And we could write all sorts of backstories as to why that alias was necessary. We have a criminal community maybe, part of the studio, who knows? Anyway, I digress. Handheld weights, strong long, wrist to elbow, upper body open, finding the collarbones broad and the upper back connected to your arms. The start position will be in standing, and in the start position, there's very little movement from the legs very deliberately in that I'm asking you to center the body through the core. When I did my prep for this morning, I was really surprised at how much my pelvic area wants to twist fractionally. It's not massive. Anything big can be seen by anyone. It's your body's little indiscrepancies that actually make the difference to your postural or spinal stability. So I'm asking us to be really aware of what's happening in the pelvis. Once we get the movement going, really be conscious of your pelvic floor core connection to stop that zumbering of the pelvic area, which is it becomes a negative action when you're using no point pelvic shift. If you've got handheld weights, you've added to your body weight, so you want more stability from your core. Mena, good morning. Hopefully, Mena, this will help your shoulders, the workload that I'm doing, but the conscientious element of stabilising the legs without them locking out, that would be people like Diane, Mena, Susan, Carol. Ooh, actually it might be most of the people in the room. When we're doing our standing shape, don't lock out at the knee, focus on your breathing core connection, and then focus on the bicep curl type activity, which is about your shoulder stabilising. It's not even about your bicep. Your bicep just happens to lead to the shoulder, and that's the kind of functional global movement pattern that we want to get the upper back stabilising for. Hello, Zaki. It's really good to see you, Zaki. Shall we get going? I think we've had time. It's clear that the connection's quite strong. So taking your handheld weights, and I will remove my glasses to teach it. Stand in a position where you feel as though you can see the screen and you're aware of your core. I've got a line on my mat which helps me understand exactly the pelvic stand. So standing up is an exercise in and of itself. We're not going to blur through this or rush through this. While you're waiting for me to cue you, start breathing. As you're breathing, I'm going to layer the instructions to the pelvic position. So the inhale and the exhale are long and significantly connecting you from your hip bones up through the rib cage. Keep breathing in and out. As you hold your shape, have the palms of the hands facing, keep the breath in and out, and the crown of the head reaching. Your legs aren't locked out, the knees are soft. There's an element that you could kind of wriggle the knee joint. There's no locked or blocked joint. The toes are spread and they're trying to feel the ground underneath you. The outsides of your feet are activated, and the inhale and exhale has now made a core stabilised connection from here to the navel. If I was to look at your abdomen, your tummy, it would be flat and pulling away from your clothing, and your pelvic position would be neutral. Next time, exhaling, create a bicep curl, and inhaling, lower your arms back down again, straightened elbow. Breathe out, keep your elbows pointing down to your hip bones. Bicep curl, don't clench your bum cheeks. Inhale and open at the elbow so it doesn't stay slightly bent. Exhaling for the bicep curl as well as core connecting. Inhaling and down you go. If you're doing everything I'm asking for, there's a lot of discipline. Breath out to bicep curl and breath in to have your arms straight. Now with your arms straight, exhale, do a slight move to the side, that's all it is, and inhale, pull down to the side. Keep breathing the breath out as your core connect so that your weighted arm feels as though it makes more sense of a connection breath. Exhale, feel the breath first and push. Inhale and in we go with the hands. Exhaling, pelvic floor, navel to spine. So the front of the deltoid now getting woken up to be a little bit more longer and stabilising of the shoulder. Two more. And last one. When you come back in this time, stay. Go back to the bicep curl. Still core connect through the thigh, pelvic floor. Dumb waiter is where you float your arms out without the elbows leading to your sides and you come back in. I repeat. Exhaling, feel it, and take the weights out sideways, come back in. we keep a long straight wrist. It's as though the weighted hand leads to the armpit rather than the front of the shoulder, and it leads all the way to the upper back muscles between the scapula, the shoulder blades. 2 more. And last time. And let your arms go down. To wake up your upper back, turn the palms face forwards again. Take your arms a little bit further away. Breath out and pull your shoulder blades towards each other. Don't let any other part of your posture distort. Inhale, return. Breathe out and shoulders squeeze. You're moving your arms because you're going straight to the mid-upper back, shoulder blade area, and return. Exhaling, shoulder blades. Keep the elbows straight. I've just seen mine was slightly bent. Pushing through the upper back muscles, waking up the mid-rhomboid, mid-traps, using your breath to lengthen the spine and core connect. Last one. There can be no sense of pinching or impingement, and then down we go. We're going to take ourselves into a tiptoes, bicep curl, and back down. Exhaling, core connect, roll to your tippy toes, and inhaling back down. The float is what you're trying to achieve. Grow tall. Let the pelvic floor lift you and roll through your arms. And you have one more. And down you go. Keep your arms long. You've got your squats, but your arms are going to now push backwards as you squat. Remember how we're using the roller and stand. Keep your arms reaching back. So a few moments ago, I got the upper back to connect between the shoulder blades. If you pull your shoulder blades towards each other while simultaneously reaching your arms, you'll switch on what we call the tricep long head. The core connection is breath out and breath in, up. The back of your upper arm now, stay, breathe. If you're not sure where that upper arm position is, do a slight push up and down whilst reaching back. So the arms lengthen and depth of breath, keeping the chin in, reaching with the straight, strong wrist, the weights are facing each other. 2 more, your shoulders refuse to round. 1 more. Listen to me, children. Are you ready? Let your listening skills allow your arms to drop. Hear that? My arms are now hanging there. They're like they're blowing in the breeze that doesn't exist in this studio. We're going to forwards roll down from the chin to the chest. Exhaling then, nod the chin and allow the weighted arms. Imagine the weights are rolling you down, 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 all the way to the floor. Have a big breath in, keep your heels active, keep your legs bent. Exhale now, tuck your bottom under and allow the weighted position of your arms to be drawn up with your core as though the abdominal area rolls you all the way back up. Roll through the shoulders and you've done the first part of the warm-up. Take your heels together. If you're getting warm, trust me, I am really warm. So, we're in the Pilates V. It's a really subtle V, and it matters again that you don't clench your glutes. Your sense of stabilisation needs to come from the bikini line. Palms are facing forward, shoulders away from the neck. Exhaling, and you're going to go out as far as you can without the shoulders shifting and lifting, and you're going to come back in again. I'm going to stare in the direction of my actual alignment. So I've always set myself slightly off center for you to get more of a 3D version of my body. Exhale, lengthen through the spine, core connect, pelvic floor, navel spine. Your clothing gets skinnier as you go out of it. Good. And 2 more. I've talked about reaching out of your shoulder. Your deltoid, every fiber in the upper body is lengthening and connecting, along with every fibre from your pubic bone all the way up to your sternum, your breastbone, is long and core stabilised. Next time you go, stay. Here we go, breathe in. Exhale now and bend your elbow. Breathe in and straighten it away again. Listen to the breathing, don't let your hips twist, pelvic floor. Bend the elbow. It's that W shape, isn't it? Inhale and open. I'm staring in the direction that my body is facing. Inhale to stretch out those elbow joints. So many of us are on many devices now. I'm on more than anyone, I reckon. Who can boast 2 iPads, 3 phones, and a TV screen. I'm on those every day. So elbows slightly is what life happens. So you've got to open up those fibres that make up your elbow joint, and they come from your armpit and shoulders. People, the next time your elbows bend, leave them here. Now breath out, push above your head, and breath in, pull the arms forwards. We're going to go back to the T shape. Exhale, push above your head. Inhale, down with your arms forward. So it's a bit of an arm circle in the shoulder. We go out, above the head. Inhale, tension up the core muscles with the breathing. Up you go, and down you go. Turn the palms, ready for your plie type squat. Collarbones are wide, and you squat. You feel as though you're doing Thunderbirds. You're playing at either Batman, some kind of superhero, as you push your arms back. My wrist leads me to my back of my shoulder. The chin draws in. In your brain, think of pulling the shoulder blades towards each other. Create skin folds in the upper back. We go to stay. Staying down there then. This is the hardest moment now. Load your heels. Draw very, very small circles. And you'll only achieve that by working very, very hard through the breath. Exhaling and inhaling. 2 more. And 1 more. And allow your arms to flow forwards. Remember how we did it earlier? We just let them hang. You suddenly feel all the fibres that have been active and stay relaxed. Ready for your forwards rolling breath out, spine mobiliser. Nod the chin, breathe out, and down you go. Feeling the back lengthen, pressing down through your heels, your legs are bent. Breathe deeply in and out, let the upper back muscles release, and then to come back up, it's an exhale, press down on your heels, tuck your bottom under and roll through the spine, and straighten, and as your shoulders return all the way back to more neutral position. People, we're going to be doing standing into roll down. You can lose the weights for a moment. We're not going to do much. I'm just putting my weights to the side so that when I come to seated, I'm able to go there. The body should now feel light, so you can start this here. Big breath in. Exhaling. See if you can lean forwards, bend the knees, and on the next breath out, roll down. You're here for a stretch. If you look down at your feet and they don't feel level, then level them out in parallel. Your legs are bent. Breathe out and straighten the legs. Breathe in and bend them again. It's a bend and stretch. If you're able to keep the chin to the chest, push your hands to the floor, then you can do that too. Just 2 more. Use your breath out. 1 more. And then with the legs bent, strides with your arms forwards, and now take your legs wider open. All you're going to do here is hold your shape, pushing the ground away, and you might find it's easier because of everything you've just done with the upper body load. Breathe deeply in and out, shoulders away from the neck. Legs are pushing through the floor, through the feet. Your glutes are active because your trunk stability is active. You're aware of your hamstrings and your heels, and the breathing is lengthening the core trunk area. Keep pushing the ground away, and then people bend the knees and lower down. Find yourself into this lengthening out stretch. I'm not really tucked under in this shape. I'm giving my shoulder, my arms space, my spine space, and you have to breathe here. Don't just think, oh, thank goodness I can stop doing something. No, you breathe here. Breathe, breathe, breathe. And then roll yourself back up, and you're going to come to seated. Once you've got your seated shape, the seated position is going to be middle of your mat, so you've got rolling space. Have your weights ready, and make sure your clothing isn't up by your neck. Sit bones, I can't tell you enough, as I keep telling you, your seated bones have to be level. Any indiscrepancy in the pelvis comes when the bones are not level with each other. When your bones feel equal weight, thigh bones are level, kneecaps are level, feet are level, you're ready to add load. Our body is load, so when we ask for another weight to be added, we're increasing the load to the joint, and it's only relevant if there's no joint pain. You're facing the direction that you're seated. You're really using the breath to, in these moments, core connect. On my breath out, I'm drawing up from deep within, thinking hip bone to hip as I get ready to add movement. On the next breath out, you'll roll off your sit bones and you'll push your arms forwards as though you're offering plates of food. Now stay here for a moment. My palms are strong, my wrists haven't bent, my rib cage is flexed, my pelvis is tilted. Breathe deeply in and out here and pull the pubis to the ceiling as much as you can, using the muscles that pull your clothing, pull your abdomen away from your clothing. Breathe. This is almost like doing the 100 position. And breathe on your next breath out. Bend your elbows as you sit up, rolling, and find yourself in seated upright. Inhale for the length of the spine. Exhaling, nod. Pelvic floor off the seat bones you go, and offer your arms forwards, and again, inhaling. With each breath out, it's as though you could just pull the pubis to the sky a wee bit more, pull the navel to the spine, and one more breath out. Ready to come back up, breathe in, breathe out, bend your elbows and pull yourself back up to here. Inhale. Exhale now and go to where you've just been, pushing your arms forwards, have a breath in and breathe out and pull yourself back up. Watch that action. So the weights counterbalance you as they push forwards and you pull back up. It's all oblique, there's nothing in the back, but there's everything in the breath. And inhale to flow backwards, exhale, it's like rowing a boat. Inhaling, and listen to me, ready to change. Inhale to lower back. Exhale, turn the weights down here and tuck your bottom under. Use the weights to help you create a much more succinct laying down of every fibre of the spine until you're on your back. Now that you're on your back, have it so that your feet are close together. Check that you can see your knees level with each other and have your arms so they're up in the air. You're lying on your back but you're in neutral, so keep the pelvic floor, pelvic position sacrum dominant, so the breath is an inhale and exhale. As you're breathing out, muscles allow the body to connect. Your sense of a kind of hourglass connection from the pelvis to the ribs, with the middle of you pulling in from all through the sides, through the centre, through the back, really is what you're trying to achieve. Breath in and let your arms open out and away, don't let them go to the floor. And breathing out, when you feel that hourglass core connection, flow the arms back again. Inhaling through the nose, opening those arms systematically, sequencing. Exhale, zip up and hollow everywhere, create that core connect as though you're pulling a belt in around your middle. Don't grip the bottom muscles and don't grip the thighs. Allow the trunk stability, the freedom to make sense of your alignment. Inhaling, the neck is long, the crown of the head is reaching. Breath out, the core creates a better activation. We've got one more here. Inhale, your shoulder blades are down the back of the rib cage on the floor, the back of the sacrum flat. You've got your neutral pelvic shape and just staying there. Next breath out, pelvic tilt, and breathe in and roll back to neutral. Breathe out, you're now mobilising through the lumbar spine, keeping your upper body with your shoulder stability. Breathing out, rib cage, pelvic tilt, pelvic floor. Inhale and return. Ready for rolling spine, hip lift, exhaling, roll, and find yourself up there. Breathing there, stay. Inhale and exhale. The arms are now going to come down to the sides of you and you're going to turn the palms to the ceiling. Take your arms out a bit and pull them in a bit, all the while keeping the trunk connection. Press your heels down, pull your inner thighs in. Keep the breath, keep the chin nodded in. Your arms are reaching palms to the ceiling, the wrists are strong, elbows are lengthened, and your breath is having to work harder than ever. Don't just squeeze your glutes, use your pelvic floor. Push through your heels, pull the inner thighs tight together, and keep the breath feeding the core. 2 more. And 1 more. It really is that detailed. Allow your weights to float back to the sky and allow your spine all the way down. That's woken up your hamstrings and glutes. Next position, breath out, nod the chin and roll up and have your weights so that they then turn to the ceiling or have your elbows bent. Whatever's not going to give you too much intensity. Pull your right leg to tabletop and then stretch it so it's now level with your left thigh. Exhale, curl more. Inhale and bend the elbows. Breath out. Inhale and bend. Breathe out. Keep the chin in. Keep mesmerised at your inner thighs. You're staying curled and you've got a moderate kind of curling crunch oblique. The next time you come back, stay, place the leg down and let the head, neck and shoulders go down. Big breath in to reset. Breath out to nod and you're up there. Pull your other leg up. There should be no shift or twist. And exhaling, stretch that leg out. You curl. So your bicep, constantly active. Your upper arm stays tracked by the sides of the ribs. And your breathing muscles working as hard as it is. Your sense of getting a lot going in the abdominals should be happening. Keep the chin in. Nose points to pelvis. And this is your last one. Roll down, place your foot down. Take your weight out of your left hand and put it on the floor. Keep the weight in this hand and breath out, curl up. Pull your left leg up in the air, breathe, and now pull your right leg back to that straight shape. Are you ready? Inhaling, roll down. Exhale as you curl, the other leg down. Breathe in and track it, bend at the elbow, and curl. Inhaling and back. Exhale, nod and curl. Inhale and back up. You can just hold to the left leg. Stay. Now lift and dynamically strong legs lower. Lifts and lowers. Are we getting into our obliques? Lift, lower. 1 more, lift, lower. Pull the legs in. Pop that weight down. Take hold of your other weight. This time straighten out your left leg. Have your right leg bent. Exhale, curl. Lower the leg down. And then bend your elbow and lift it up. Keeping your upper arm by your upper body. Keeping the pulling your abdomen away from your clothing. I keep saying the wrong thing there. So the breath out wants to shrink away from your clothing and the breath in to return back. Stay up this time and inhaling and if you can talk, you're not breathing. And if you're breathing, you're really feeling for the oblique, rib cage to belly button, working so hard. You're also working up a sweat. The leg that's moving up and down is really straight and strong. Last time. Pull both legs in, hold them in for a moment, and then press your legs down. You're going straight for rolling. So the weights will help you get up there. Legs are kind of straightish, not completely straight because it's not going to be successful. Big breath in, and exhale, start curling and push straight as you come all the way up. Well done. Are you ready for more obliques? Of course you are. Have your legs bent again. Make sure the seated shape is a symmetry shape. We're going to go into one hand weight. So again, you can put your left hand weight down, or whichever one you want. It's not going to change your life, although it'll help my cueing for you. I'm going to cue the right arm and the left. With this weight, imagine both hands still have weights, remember? With the weighted hand position, both hands act like they have weights, but we know they don't. We go back to the rolling pelvic position. So breath in, breathe out and roll back, and then pull the weight towards the belly button. So I've now got my fingertips facing each other, my weight points at my navel, my elbows have slightly come out, and then I'm going to open out again. It's like doing medial rotation. So you rotate in, you'll feel the oblique area, which is the navel to rib cage, and come back out again. Exhaling, use your breath. Feel as though the weight points to the belly button, resist, shift and twist, and return back out. Exhale. Center, 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 stay. Inhale and open. Exhale, shrink the rib cage down under the navel. Inhale and open. Breathe out. So your right weighted arm oblique should know exactly, it's trying to resist twist. With asymmetry of load, you start to feed to one side of the body as it works harder than the other, but everything's working to resist you rotating. You have one more, and you come up. You've got the other side, so take the weight. Calibrate, in other words, get everything level, know where your sit bones are, crown of the head reaching, inhaling. Breathing out to pelvic, and you rotate in, check the hips haven't twisted, and you come back up. Breathe in. Exhale. Inhale. If you had both hands flat to the elbow, as though you're carrying something down your forearm from your hand, like a waitress, that's the best way to know about this weight. The weight wants to sit into your armpit and bicep, not into your wrist. Stay there this time. So now inhaling, and the fingertips should touch each other bang in the center. There's nothing left to chance here. The weight pulls towards the navel as your arms medially and laterally rotate, and the obliques, which is side rib cage to hip bone, find ownership of the shape. One more. I lied. Do me one more. And push yourself all the way up. Stretch out your legs. If you want to, you can take both hands in the weights and reach forwards. Have a momentary reprieve of all the work that went on into your obliques. It's quite intense. And find yourself back. Next shape is going to be straight into your hands and knees. Hands and knees position, we'll do single weights. So the reason I'm doing a lot of single weights, actually I'm probably better off here because I can see more. I'm going to use single weights to make sure that your body has to stabilise you from opposing sides. So the body's trying to resist twist. Take your weight in whichever hand you want first. It's not going to change your life. You know the position. Whenever we're in all fours, it's a strong core connect from the base of the ribcage armpit area all the way to the sit bones, the hip bones. Slide your opposite leg to weighted hand out, so you know where that is, don't you? You've got your long leg line, and then with your weighted arm, take it behind you. So I've got the weight in my left hand and my right leg reaching behind me. Exhale and push the hand up. Inhale and come back down to your neutral line. Breathe out, push it away and up. When you're moving this arm up and down, think through the upper shoulder blade area, okay, between the scapula to the mid-spine. As your breath out pulls your abdomen away from your clothing, your core connecting and you're pushing the floor away with your kneeling leg and hand. Stay with your arm back now. Can you bend your elbow? Inhale, exhale. If we're doing this efficiently, you're now into the back of the upper arm, tricep. Exhale. Even your bottom, your hand position, your right arm, okay, should get some tricep and oblique because it's pushing the ground away. as you slide the weight past your bum and extend it behind you. Keep the palm straight, the wrist straight. Last one. And allow that weight to change. Go back to hands and knees. Make sure that you have got symmetry in all fours. Your other leg this time will go out. Find the floor so you've got a strong, long line as though you're about to do plank with that leg. The weight goes into your left hand this time, or right hand, depending on what you did. Whichever way, it's a left leg, right arm, or vice versa. Your arm is reaching backwards. Exhale, it goes up higher. And inhale, it comes to the place where the side of the hip. Breathe out. Imagine you could push the ground away as your arm goes back. And your arm is reaching both away from the shoulder and then to the ceiling. You've got strong, straight arms, strong, straight fingers. Everything about this is long lines. So muscles are strong and long, and the joints are feeding greater need for stabilization, and your breath muscles trigger the stabilizer muscles. Next time your arms reaching, stay. It's now the bend the elbow and extend. Inhale, bend without dropping the shoulder. Exhale, pushed away. Suck your armpit. On the left hand that's on the floor, keep the foot connected that's on the floor, and therefore the trunk should get everything it needs to allow you to work with a little load into your tricep. Last time. And flow that weight down. Take yourself into a well-deserved reaching stretch. Again, I say don't rest, but put space right the way through your shoulders. If you reach your hands away and you breathe into your rib cage, in and out, you're taking a refreshing for the area that's worked the hardest, okay? The breath muscles and the shoulder and armpit, upper back. And inhale again. And then tuck your bottom under and take the body into a kneeling shape. We won't do much of this, but we'll do enough of this to make sense of it. Actually, I think I'm going to go single weight again. Stick with the theme because I'm running out of time. Your kneeling position, remember, nose, sternum, pubis, thigh bones, one fist width apart, everything level. Pelvic connection there, hair out of face. The weight will always either face the thigh or turn like that, because you don't want to do the opposite. Keep the weight facing the thigh. Inhale your prep. As your breath out pulls your abdomen away from your clothing, lean back. Resist, twist, breathe in, and as your breath out, pulls you back up again. Inhale, everything's long, elegant and open. Breath out to lean back, pelvic floor, pubis to the ceiling. And as you lean back this time, turn the palm of the hand and push it out sideways. Resist, twist, and turn back. Breathe in. Exhale. Inhaling and exhale, return. You're now going to look in the opposite direction. You're going out and back. Zip up and hollow, don't grip the bum. Find the quads, find the core. Back and return. One more. Back and return. Change sides. Everything's level. Don't assume you'll have the same ability both sides. So we start just leaning, exhaling to pull back. Breathe in and prep. Breath out. So the breath out is really significant when you've got upper body load, but you're relying on core pelvic stability. So the demand from the pelvis is greater. Your breath out needs to be deeper and more connected. The next time you're ready to add, make it small. Inhale, breathe out, pelvic floor, navel to spine, and float that arm out and notice whether or not you're twisting, and breathe and come back. If all you do is breathe out to get the setup, that's grand. Exhale, I know I've got the setup, Resist the twist, challenge the stability, and come back again. Breathe. Pelvic floor, no gripping of the bum. Turn and look the other way. And reverse back. Looking the other way. There's nothing relaxed about any part of this. It's length and strength. Last time. Back. Look. And return. Well done. We're going to finish off lying on your front. Take your both weights with you. If you kneel both knees together at this point, it helps you kind of find the right position. So then you lay the spine down, frontal. We're going to do dart, and your arms are going to start with the weight knuckle on the floor, the bell on the floor, and your arms are kind of slightly out sideways, so you've got somewhere to go as you come in and you go back out. Listen to the cueing for the setup. Big breath in and big breath out to zip up and hollow, pulling everything away from your clothing. See if you can hold everything away from your clothing whilst breathing. Make the legs long and interactive with the inner thighs. Inhaling and exhaling, your nose is hovering the floor continuously. Now breathe out and pull your arms and the weights in, pulling the inner thighs together. Inhale and open out again. Your weights can go across the wrists if that makes it easier. We're reaching without resting. And exhale, lengthen the legs. Pull the weights in and the upper back muscles together. It's your shoulder blades. Come deep together. Inhale and down. Inhale and down. One more. And as you come out of that one, let the weights go. Hands under your shoulders. You've got a quick swan stretch. Keep the legs lengthened. Big breath in. Core connect, pubis to the floor, inner thighs. And press the floor away. Breathe. And float back down again. And again, inhale. Exhaling, lengthen the legs. Give the upper body a bit of a break. Breathe. And down again. Now take yourself straight, hands and knees. Thread the needle to finish to lose any overly tensioned fibres in the upper back. Take your right hand away. Keep your left arm strong, knees strong, thighs strong. Breath out to turn under. Shoulder goes down to the ground. Breathe in and return back. Change sides. Exhale. Inhale and return. And changing sides. Inhale and return. Don't twist your hips. Twist your shoulders. And last time to the final side. Shoulders, not hips. So you go to where you can go, and then you're allowed to have that moment of head down, arms by the sides, feeling hot and sweaty, I suspect, and breathe. Deep in and out. Deep, deep in and out. One more deep breath in and out before you put your hands under your shoulders to bring your posture upright, to find yourself ready and in the right mind to approach your screens. So that was your weighted workout. I think it's day number 8 of everything I'm doing. Put my glass on to see who's in the room. Oh, hello, Helen. Lovely to see you here too. We'll do this later, keep having to refresh every few seconds. Oh, sorry, Margaret. Okay, I hope that it wasn't massively constantly not doing what it should do. I have got a new router. I have got a different broadband package to try and make the best my end. Whichever way, that weighted workout, by all means, you know, do it several times. It's a really good core connection everywhere. When you get used to how to use those weights, you actually start to make quite a difference to your upper body stabilising system. Of course, all that remains for me to do is to say thank you. Have a great day. I think today's the last day of sun for a little while. and I hope you can actually enjoy it. Okay, lots of love to you all, and stay well and safe, and stay in touch. Bye bye.